to have you all here. We're so glad to have you here at the Masterclass. We know you would have been doing something else, maybe resting or watching movies or something, but you are here today and we're glad to have you here. So it's just a step to taking charge of your career and professional growth. All right, so I'd like everyone to introduce themselves in the chat room so that we know who we're learning with, and just in case you never might know who can help at the end of the class. So before we start the class, I'll run us through what Dataleum is all about. But please, let's just introduce ourselves in the chat room. Just write one or two things about yourself, your career, why you're here, what are your expectations, and all of that. All right, so I'll share my screen now so that I explain. Okay, thank you. I explain what Dataleum is all about. So please give me a couple of seconds. Okay, so before I just run us through, I would like to reiterate the instructions so that we have a smooth, seamless learning experience today. Please, let's kindly put off our mic and video features to avoid distractions, and let's use the raise hand feature if you have any questions. You can also drop your questions in the chat room and it will be attended to. Ensure your laptop and gadgets are fully charged and you're in a calm environment so that you just avoid interruptions and all that. And ensure you have a good internet connection so you'll not be thrown out of the class or your internet won't bounce you off. All right, please pay attention to the facilitator and be very attentive because there's just so much planned out for today's class. All right, thank you so much. I'm seeing the comments in the chat room. Thank you, Opelua and every other person. Okay, so I'll share my screen now so that I will run us through what Dataleum is about. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so we're set now. So you're welcome to the Dataleum Masterclass weekend on data analytics with Power BI. So indeed, the future starts here. And like I said, we are so glad to have you on board. So what are we? Who are we? What's Dataleum all about? First thing you should know is that at Dataleum, we're all about impact, which is our core value. And everything we do is centered around you, basically. So we do this by we achieve this rather by educating and empowering and equipping individuals and corporates physically and remotely with value-packed and pocket-friendly data analytics skill sets for the future of work. We are also very keen on equipping the population and the youths on the digital skills like data analytics, business analysis, strategic HR analytics, just to bridge that global skill gap that employees are facing. And we do this by giving the highest service of excellence. Please.
Hello, Favor, please, you're on mute.
Okay. All right. So I was talking about Dataleum. I said that indeed the future starts here, and we're so glad to have you on board. So what's Dataleum all about? Basically, we are very passionate about making impacts, and we have one mission in mind: to equip individuals and corporates with value-packed and pocket-friendly data analytics skill sets for the present and the future of work. So we do this by adhering to the highest service of excellence. And what matters most to us is that we try as much as possible to bridge the global skill gap that employers are facing in recent times. All right, so at Dataleum, we offer 3 services. We have Dataleum Academy, Dataleum Intelligence, and Dataleum Technologies. So for Dataleum Academy right now, which we're under in this class, what we do is that we facilitate your learning through aided and guided mentorship from super learning and awesome community ambassadors. So we have top-notch facilitators that are really as in built and really skilled in this field of data science. And our goal is to provide an ever-growing population of data technologists with resources and environment that they need to become world-class problem solvers. Our vision is simple. We are aiming at becoming the world's #1 destination for data science. And we can only achieve this by equipping individuals and doing all these trainings so that you can make a positive impact in society. Then our mission is to become Africa's leading hub by leveraging on this in-depth expertise and just seeking to deliver exceptional service. Then at year end, we plan on training at least 5,000 students, and it's becoming a reality. So this is just a cross-section of the students we've trained in the past, just a tip of the iceberg, a few of them, because we have trainings every month, and we have trainings on different courses like the data analytics course, strategic HR analysis course, business analysis course. Yeah, so what do you stand to gain by joining the Dataleum community? First of all, you are joining the biggest data network in West Africa, and you have access to top-notch facilitators, like I mentioned earlier. You have access to discounted classes. There are a lot of packages we offer to our alumni and prospective students. We also have workshops and seminars and hackathon challenge, which you can partake in and win cash prizes. At the end of every program, you'll be certified. So you'll be given certifications and recommendation letters upon request. We also give job referrals and mentorship from top industry professionals. So please, if you haven't followed us on our social media platform, please do be sure to do that, because we have so much information that we pass across on that channel. So on Facebook, you can reach us at Dataleum NG, Twitter Dataleum, Instagram Dataleum, LinkedIn Dataleum. You can also send us an email at dataleum@gmail.com, or you visit our website for more information. So www.dataleum.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat room, or you can just send me a message on WhatsApp. I've been the one addressing you on the group chat. So before we start, I'd like to introduce our facilitator. Our facilitator is Mr. Francis Okoye. He's a faculty member of Lagos Business School, and he's an active alumnus of Dataleum as well. He has attended 5 different trainings in Dataleum Academy. Fantastic. So he's skilled in data analytics, machine learning, SQL, Python, and he'll be taking us today on introduction to data analytics and the practical aspects of using Power BI. So like I mentioned earlier, please let's be sure to avoid any distractions. Let's mute our mic and video features so we can have a smooth learning experience. Thank you so much for your time. Over to you, Mr. Francis.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Please, can you grant me permission to share my screen?
Good morning.
Okay, okay, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, good morning, everyone. So let me see if I can share my screen.
Yes, you can share now.
I can share now. All right. So is my screen on now?
Yes.
All right. All right. Okay. So basically, we are going to be looking at Power BI. Okay. But before we start Power BI, but first of all, the assumption that we can make is that one that we know how to use a computer, right? That's given. Secondly, that we have all installed Power BI. Then the last assumption that we have the data sets. I hope we have shared all the data sets, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay, then that's fine. Then I think we are good to go. All right, so beyond the Power BI, okay, so there's this buzzword of data science, data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, okay? Now, if you are just coming into this field, it looks very confusing and sometimes like, why do I even need to go through it? But we realize that today, as technology evolves, the volume of data we generate has become so large, okay? So how do firms and businesses leverage on this data to generate some insights, okay, to give them that competitive advantage? And irrespective of your field, there's a role for you to play. Okay, so even you are in HR, there's a role for you in data science. If you are in, if you even you read Edu language, there's a role for you. Okay, so irrespective of the field, there's a role for you. But at the end of the day, it's more about how do I use this data to make sense. Okay, so that's why there's this saying now that in God we trust. Every other person bring data. Okay, because if you are discussing now and you are trying to make a decision without data, it's just you are just another person with an opinion. Okay, so everything now must be what data driven. As managers in organization, all your decisions must be what data or driven. So that's why it's important as data analyst or whatever field you are going in, you must have that data analytic mindset. Because if you look at the future of work, you will see some skills that are on decline and some are on the rise. And one of them is what? Data analysis skill. Okay. So how do you think like a what data analyst? So I will not go into the more like the classifications or definitions of what data science, data analytics. Just understand that the umbrella word is data science. Okay, data science is the umbrella word. As long as you are dealing with data, somehow you are a data scientist. Okay, but some will look at it. Oh, but you have data analysts, you have data analytics. Yes, all these roles they seem blurry, but at the end of the day, still data you are dealing with. Okay. So basically, when we talk about data analytics, okay, in itself, we're just looking at how do you use this data, and when you take this data, because most time this data may not be in just one particular place, it may be in different sources, okay. So you need to learn how to pull this data together. But the challenge that you have as analyst is that most time this data they are never ready for analysis. Okay, they are never ready for what analysis. So the first thing you need to do, you must learn how to what clean your data. Okay, clean your data. Okay, and when you are cleaning your, because how well you clean your data depends on how well you understand the data. Okay, so that's why we need to inspect the data to understand that data. Okay, then that will determine how well we are going to clean the data. Then based on that, there are some things that we may need to what generate, some variables we may need to generate. Okay, so you must learn how to what transform your what data. And based on that data you have transformed, then we can now model the data to discover some useful what insights and make what decisions. That is why the goal of data analytics at the end of the day is to discover useful information and help you what make what data-driven what decisions. Okay, and if you look at it, that's why I keep saying that data science is still the heart of everything. Okay, data science is heart of everything. But before you do all this cleaning and doing all your analytics, you must understand this part. Okay, that first of all you must have a domain knowledge. Irrespective of your field, you must have what a domain knowledge. That is even more important first. Okay, understand what you do. Now, because when you understand, when you have a domain knowledge, you can actually appreciate the problem. And it's based on that problem that you now ask the right questions. For example, if you are in sales, you realize, oh, sales have been declining. Question you now ask, why is sales what declining? Okay. Now, but something has driven you to that is your domain knowledge. Okay. Even if you are in marketing, you are in HR, you notice that employees are always leaving. Question is, why are they leaving? So that's a problem, and there's a question to ask. But to answer that, you need data. Okay, so your domain knowledge will help you understand that data. Okay, and to understand the data and analyze that data, that's why you also need to understand some element of mathematics and statistics. Okay, some elements of mathematics and statistics. Okay, and with that, you may be able to understand how do you summarize that data. Okay, how do you make a decision? Is there a significant difference? What's the relationship? How can I make forecasts? So these are different things, and at the end of the day, these mathematics and statistics are the algorithms that we use at the back end to make our Then the other aspect, you must know how to use computer. So most time, especially now, we talk about you must learn programming. Okay, yes, programming is part of it. So when we talk about the programming now, there are different programming skills you need to learn. So the most common now is Python. You have R. Okay, but sometimes you see people still using Java. Okay, and recently you hear people talking about Julia. So there are a lot of programming skills that you must also learn. But how do you, so it's the integration of all these that gives you that edge. Okay, please, in case you have any question, you can always put up your hands, and if I don't see, somebody will indicate. Okay, all right. Now we are dealing with data analytics. Okay, we are dealing with data analytics. So remember, the umbrella is data science. Okay, so data analytics is just a part of the data science. Okay, so data analytics in itself, there are basically 4 parts. Okay, so you hear what they call descriptive analytics, you hear what they call diagnostic analytics, you hear of what they call it, diagnostic. So we have you have descriptive, you have diagnostics, you have predictive analytics, and you have prescriptive analytics. Okay. Now, when you say descriptive, descriptive just like you are describing what has happened in the past. Okay. So what has happened in the past, that's what descriptive analytics is about. Most accountants, what they do is descriptive. Okay. They are reporting about the past. Now, diagnostic is understanding why it didn't happen. Okay, you want to try and understand why did it happen. So you want to start drilling down. Why did it happen? Okay, so that is diagnostics. Then you now have predictive. So based on the past, let me understand what is likely going to happen in the future. So we'll talk about predictive analytics. Okay, and lastly, you have prescriptive analytics. So based on the trend, based on the pattern that I have seen, in order for this to happen, we need to do this. So you are now recommending based on the data. So you are prescribing what is likely going to happen. But irrespective of the process you are going to take, so you have what they call the analytics or framework, okay, which they refer to as the CRIPS-DM framework. So the cross-industry process for data mining. So this is a framework. So whenever you get a data, this is the thinking behind it. Okay, so first of all, you must understand the data. But remember that before you understand the data, okay, you must have your domain knowledge first. So that's why first thing you must have the business understanding, and that comes from your domain knowledge. Okay, from that you understand your data. From the data, you must now prepare and transform the data. So remember that most times the data is never in a clean form. Okay, so you must learn how to clean that data in a form ready for analysis. That is why you must also, in every organization, you must have that data culture. Anytime you are keeping any data, no matter how irrelevant you see that data, always have at the back of your mind that this data can be used for some form of analysis sometime in the future. So you must learn how to keep data in a proper form and in a proper structure. Okay, so that's why you see one skill that is evolving now is, apart from your core program Python, is your SQL, which has to do with your data management. Okay, so you must learn how to keep data in the structured form. So based on that, you have to prepare the data, then do your analysis. So after analyzing the data, you must now validate. Does it answer the question that I raised initially? Okay, then you now have to present the data. Okay, present the data. And again, another evolving skill you must learn apart from your data visualization is data storytelling. Some people, they may not know how to program, they may not know how to do anything. Even if in mass cop you read, okay, data storytelling is there for you. Okay, so you also learn how to present the visuals and tell a story, compelling story based on the data. Okay, so this is just the pipeline you are going to follow. Okay, so first of all, you must get the data, analyze, visualize, publish, and consume. So this is the whole pipeline. Okay, but what we are basically going to do today is get data, analyze, and visualize the data. Okay, so what we are going to be doing today is data visualization using Power BI. Okay, visualizing the data using Power BI. So we realize that I'm sure many of us have used Excel. Okay, we have used Excel, and still Excel is still one of the number one data analytic tool. Okay, still one of the number one analytical tool. But when we want to try and do visualization in Excel, it's also possible, but your Excel skill must be top notch, okay, to do that. But the Microsoft team now realized that rather than us pulling data from different places, okay, why not we bring in a tool, okay, and that tool is called the Power Pivot. So it's still in Excel. So before we even talk about the Power BI, so your Power BI started with what? Excel. Okay, it started with Excel. So because most times as analysts, you want to pull data from different sources to make decisions. So for example, if I ask you a question, how well do you sell your product when it rains? Okay, so you look at it like this look seemingly unrelated, but somehow yes, they are related. But you have that data. Yes, you may have your sales data in your organization, but you may not have rain data. So it means you have to pull the data from different sources. So they now came up with a tool known as Power Pivot. Okay, and that your Power Pivot helps you to get data from different sources. And at the back end of that your Power Pivot, it uses what they call the DAX. Okay, data analysis expression. Okay, so that's what you use in Excel, and that was in about 2010. Okay, much later you realize that when you pull this data from different sources, most times this data is never clean. Okay, it's never clean. So by 2013, they now came up with another tool known as Power Query. So if you look at your Excel, you also see Power Query, and Power Query is used to clean the data to make it ready for analysis. And at the back end of Power Query uses a language known as M. The M language. So at the end of the day, the combination of, because again, we also need to do some presentation. So in like PowerPoint, where you have that your white canvas. So you have that white canvas, okay, and the combination of your Power Query, your Power Pivot, your DAX, and your M language, they now give birth to Power BI. So you realize that your Excel is like the grandfather of Power BI. Okay, and what makes it very elegant to use is just drag and drop. But before you drag and drop, there is a lot of things that must go at the back end, and we're going to look at that. Okay, so whenever we talk about Power BI, there are basically three things you are looking at. Okay, so what you have downloaded is what you call the Power BI desktop. Okay, so how do we present visuals like this? So you have it in your Power BI or desktop. Okay, now there's the cloud-based. So remember we're talking about consumption and deployment. Okay, so there's the Power BI service. So this is on the cloud. So just imagine that if you're working with your Excel and you finish your report, you will send it by email, right? Now, if there's an error, and they say, but what happened here? They will send it back again. Okay, you will do the correction and send it again. Maybe you can send it as final. Okay, you will be doing it back and forth. You save your file, your Excel file as Excel final print, So avoid that kind of thing. Why not do it on the cloud? So once you are doing it real time, you're also seeing the reports. Okay, so they have now moved everything now to the cloud. Okay, And especially now with COVID-19, sometimes you may not even have access to go to the office. Now everything is what cloud-based. Okay, so from home you can also work and do your reports and put on the cloud. So that is your Power BI service. And on the go also, you also have your Power BI mobile. So if you check your iOS, if you check your Power BI, you also see your Power BI mobile. Okay, so those are the basic three, but we are going to be dealing mostly with Power BI desktop. Okay. Okay, no question yet. All right. So with Power BI, so one of the key things, as we have said, that we can get data from different sources, okay, analyze the data, okay, and send it on real world time, okay. So those are basic things you can do with your Power BI. So remember, I keep saying that Power BI is also part like your Excel, okay. It's like your Excel, but only when it comes to visualization, Power BI is just drag and drop. Okay, drag and drop. But almost everything you have in your Power BI, you also have in your Excel. Now, the only difference is that Excel work with cells. Okay, Excel work with what? Cells. But in your Power BI, you are basically working with what? Columns. So that's another key difference you will see. Okay, because your Power BI also has your DAX and uses your M language, just like your Excel. Okay, so almost everything you can do in your Power BI, you can also do with Excel. But Power BI is basically for visualization. But some people still try to force Power BI to do what it's not supposed to do. For example, like accountants, okay, they will say, okay, how can I prepare a financial statement with Power BI when it will be easy to do in Excel? Okay, or try to build financial model in Power BI when it's easier to do in Excel. Okay, so yes, you can also do that, but it's going to be quite tedious. So choose tools that will make life easy for you. So whenever you are dealing with financial modeling, Excel is still the one for you. Okay, but when you are dealing with visualization, reports, okay, that has to do with visuals, yes, Power BI becomes more elegant. But we have other data analytics visualization tools such as Tableau, Spotfire, MicroStrategy, okay, Asterisk. So they have quite a lot. Okay, and the most the rival is Tableau. Okay, so they also have their own pros and cons. Okay, but with Power BI and everything Microsoft. Now, if you're working with Microsoft Excel, Microsoft SQL Server, everything Microsoft, so the integration is very easy. Okay, integration is very easy. And again, with Power BI, they update it every month. It's being updated. So at the end of the day, you should be able to present visuals like this. Okay, whether you're a customer segment, you are an accountant, okay, you are in HR, okay, or you are in sales. So you can actually do that. Okay. Now, before we continue, there are key things you must understand in your Power BI. Okay, so first of all, you must learn how to import the data from the different sources. You learn how to clean the data. You learn how to model the data. They learn how to create measures, but this is a little bit more advanced, but where necessary, then visualization. So you realize that data visualization is the list of your problem. Data visualization is the list of your problem, because only when your data is proper, you have cleaned it properly, okay, modeled it properly, okay, before you can start talking about your data visualization. Okay, all right. So those are basic things we are going to do: import the data, clean the data, model the data, create a measure, maybe one or two, try them, do our data visualization. Okay. So data can be got from the different sources. Okay, then we now have to transform the data, then present it in that visual. All right. Now, when we are cleaning the data, some people will ask, okay, how do I know what I'm going to clean in that data? Okay, so these are basic rules that you may want to follow, okay, when you are cleaning the data. So even your organization, even when you are working with Excel, you must always work in this way, okay? So that's your Excel sheet that you are keeping in the office, okay? You must follow these rules, and this will make life easy for you. Well, some of these rules may not make sense at first, because sometimes we are already used to some bad habits. Okay, so it may take us some time to change it, but we realize that when we can keep these rules, data cleaning and analysis become very easy, because 80% of the time of a data analyst, you spend it cleaning the data. Okay,
Sorry,
rather
sorry,
than analyzing that
instructor.
data.
Sorry,
Yes.
instructor. Yeah, sorry. Someone is written on the screen. I don't know if you're the one. If you're not
No,
the
I'm
one,
not the one. I don't know who's writing on the screen.
maybe it is compromised. Please, can you check if someone that is not authorized is in the meeting writing on the screen?
Okay, I have no idea.
You're the one.
Okay, I
I
can
don't have any
see
admin right.
I can see a name there. So I think do I type it the name to somebody? I can see the person who's writing that.
Okay, please, if you can ask.
Titilayo is a person writing.
Yes, Titulayo is the person writing. Please, Titulayo, can you desist from that?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, where was I? So I was talking about data cleaning in the organization, okay? So we must always try to follow what some of these rules, okay? And as I've said, 80% of the time you spend it cleaning what the data rather than analyzing data. So analysis that would have taken you 10 minutes. Because the data is so dirty, sometimes it might take you 2 days, 3 days, a week to clean that data, okay? And when you learn these things, please also train your colleagues that you are working together, because most times in data analysis, you work as a team, okay? If you want to make your life easy, please also train them on how to keep the data properly. Because if you say, I don't have time to teach them, that time you have used to analyze the data, you use it to clean that data. Because imagine they have finished typing the data and they did not put in a proper structure for you. You are going to spend that time to clean that data. So help yourself by training your colleagues or those you are going to be working with. Okay. So these are some of the rules. Okay. So the first rule is that every Excel sheet that you have, so we are working from the point of Excel. Okay. So every Excel sheet that you have, you must have one row of header. So you must have one row of header. So every table must have a header. Okay. So usually your first row will be a header. Then the next question I will ask: can we differentiate between rows and columns? Can we differentiate between rows and columns?
Yes.
Some will say yes. Some will say, why would they ask me at my age? Can I differentiate rows and columns? Now let me ask: in Excel, how does Excel identify a row? How does Excel identify a row? How does Excel identify a row?
An alphabet.
Yeah?
The rules are recognized as what's it called?
Okay, rows are in numbers, while the columns are in alphabets.
Okay, rows are in numbers, okay?
Columns are in alphabet.
Beautiful, okay? So you must be able to identify it. Now, for those who are, because sometimes some people still get confused about which is row and which is column, okay? Now, if you want to remember, like for me, how I remember it, so if you can spell columns, can you spell columns? C-O-L-U-M-N, right? Columns. Now, this I remember. Can you see this L? I pull it down. So this is what my columns. So for those who cannot differentiate them, okay. So this is how I remember my own. So we ask vertical, horizontal. Well, if you can remember it that way, then that's fine. So that's one way I can remember it. Beautiful. So we are saying that every table must have one row of header. Okay. So if your table has no row, make sure no header. Make sure you have a header in your table. The second thing, there should be no empty rows and no empty columns. No empty rows and no empty columns. Okay. Now, it is different from when you have missing data in a row. That's different. I'm saying completely empty. So empty rows, empty columns. So there should be no empty rows, no empty columns. If they are there, make sure you remove them. Okay. So rule 1 is that every row, every table must have a header, no empty rows, no empty columns. I'm sure that one is clear. Another aspect again is that there should be no totals. So whenever you are keeping your data, there should be what? No totals. No totals. But some will say, okay, but if you say no totals, but I need total now. Now, whenever you are doing your analysis, so remember that you are keeping your data. Now, the data is in its raw form, okay? There's no analysis done there, so you don't actually need the data. When you are analyzing the data in your Power BI, you will have your totals being calculated for you automatically. So you don't need to bother yourself. So wherever you have totals or subtotals, just remove them. You don't need them. Okay? So no what? Totals. Another aspect again is that there should be no obstruction around the data. Now, what you are going to notice is that when people are keeping data sets, they start writing irrelevant things or like comments by the side of the column, especially in an Excel. You can right click and put a comment inside the cell, but don't go and type anything by the side of the cell. Why don't you do that? Because whenever you are importing that data, whatever comment you have written, it will also come as part of the data. But we don't need that, and that will be what? Time wasting. But we need to still clean that up. Okay, so at every point, avoid what? Having any what? Obstructions around what? The data. Okay, that's why the best thing you should do is that whenever you're working with Excel, especially, put it in a table, in an Excel what? Table form. Okay, put it in an Excel table form. Okay, so that's one. Then another rule again is that every date, all dates must be on a single column. All dates must be on a single column. Okay, so all dates must be in a single column. So what we are saying there, do not put, for example, if we are dealing with a monthly data, so you have January, first column, second column, February, March, April, May, June. That means you already have 12 columns. But you see, as the columns increases, the size of the data is also what? Increasing. Okay, so sometimes to manage it in that way, it's going to be very difficult. So rather, put those dates or those months, put it on a single column and just call it what? Month. And you have your January, February, March in that order. Okay, so every date must be on a single column. All right, and we are going to see how to clean that when it doesn't fit that criteria. Because sometimes, yes, to even update your data, sometimes it may be easier to put it in columns, okay? But when you're analyzing it, then you take all those your data and put in what? Single column, all right? Then the last thing, every category of unique data must be also on a single column, and I'll give you examples. That's why I say at first, these things, they don't make sense, okay? But as we go on, we are going to see them, okay? So that's just basically the data cleaning rules, okay? That we are going to follow. All right. So can we remember some of the rules? So let's see how many rules you can remember. Yeah, so what's the first rule?
Every sheet must have an head.
Every what?
Row
Every
and column must have
First rule is every header
One
must be
rule
in
of
one row.
One row of header, yes.
of
One row of
header.
header.
Rule 2 say no
No
empty
empty row.
rows.
No empty rows, yes.
Rule
No
3, no
empty
empty
column.
columns.
No empty columns, good.
Rule
no
2, no
total.
totals.
It
No
totals
total,
before.
right? Yes.
Number 5, no
No
obstruction
Number
around the
obstructions
data.
around the data.
No
The header
obstruction
should be on the
around
first
data,
row.
Rule 6,
yes.
all dates must be
All
in a
dates
single
must be in
column.
a single column.
All dates in a single column, yes.
Then
And
rule
lastly,
7,
every category unique data must have its
must be
own
on a
column.
single column.
On the single column. Beautiful. Thank you very much. And these are what basic tools. There may be other ones that you may take note of. These are some basic ones that you must, in terms of the data structure, how it should look like. Okay? So that's fine. Now, when you have collected your data, now the next thing you must learn is how do I relate the data? How do I relate this data? And that's why one skill you need as an analyst is your SQL. Okay, you must learn your SQL. How do I keep data in a structure so that I can easily query the data? So SQL is there. And one skill in SQL you are going to learn is what they call data normalization. It's called data normalization. So you are trying to break a large table into smaller units because it's more manageable. Okay, so that's why you need to understand what your SQL. So that's one skill again you must learn. But even at that, so let's look at this. So one thing you are trying to look at here is that, remember I said that in every organization there's a problem. It can be a HR problem, it can be a sales problem, it can be whatever kind of problem in the organization that you are facing. Okay. Now there's a question you are asking and their answers. Okay, your answers are in your table. Okay, but again, that answer, so you are going to break your data set into two parts. There's one part that is asking questions, another part table that is going to be giving me my answers. Okay, and what are the key questions you are asking? So, for example, how many customers or what? So there are basic questions like what, where, how, is it not, when. So, for example, if you ask, when do customers buy from us? When do customers buy from us? Okay, what kind of table do you think can answer that question? So when you say, when do customers buy from us? What kind of table do you think can answer that question? When do customers buy?
Sales.
Yeah?
Sales.
When do customers buy? Listen to the question. When do customers buy? When?
Calendar.
It has to do with time now.
It has to do with time. And what table deals with time? Exactly. What table deals with time?
Calendar.
Your calendar, isn't it? Or your date table?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Your date table deals with what time? So whenever I want to find out when the customers buy, you already know how to link that. I'm going to link my date table to my what? Calendar table. Yes, please.
Calendar.
Yes, calendar, yeah. So when the customers buy, so I need to have my date table. That's one. Okay. Who buys from us? Who buys from us? What table do you think will answer that question?
Customers.
Customers, right? So who is buying from us? Who are the most profitable customers? So I need to check what the customer was table. Did you get that? What are they buying? What are they
Products table.
Product.
Exactly. Product table. Okay. Where do they buy?
Territories table.
Territory.
Territory or regions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, all this is what they refer to as what? Your lookup or table. Okay, your lookup or table. They are, or what sometimes they can call them your descriptive table. Okay, you call them what? Your lookup or table. Now, in this your sales table, for example, is called your what? Data what table. And these are where all the answers you are going to get. So can you see that there must be a link between your calendar table and your sales table? There must be a link between your customer table and sales table. There must be a link between your product table and sales table. And there must be a link between your territories and what your sales table. So that is what they call what your data model. Okay? Because if you don't do this modeling properly, that drag and drop feature you have in your Power BI, the report you are going to get may not make sense. Okay, so you must understand, and this is what they refer to as what? The data modeling. Okay, it's called what? Data modeling. Okay, data modeling. Okay, and so we're going to look at something like that. Okay, so in your Power BI, there are three basic things, but I will not disturb you guys with too much of this. Okay, so let's open our Power BI. So let's open our Power BI.
Sorry, please, can someone just clear up these lines on the screen?
I don't think I can do that. Let me see. Can I clean it? Okay, I can clean. Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
All right, yes. So open your Power BI. So have we opened our Power BI?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, if you have opened your Power BI, you are going to notice. So let me just quickly. So just raise up your hand if you have. This is the first time you're using Power BI. Lift up your hands. Let me see. If this is the first time you're using Power BI. Okay, so let's see how. Okay, okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll try and I'll try and combine the piece. Okay, so for that, those who don't understand. Now in Power BI, there are basically three. So if you look at, you have a blank canvas like this, right? You have a blank canvas like this. Okay, so there are three parts. You see your report. Okay, so this black canvas you are seeing is your report. Okay, then you have your data. So whenever you get your data, so you have what to show your data and you have your model. So whenever you have cleaned up your data, you need to first of all check the model, how well it's connected. Okay, then you go back to your what report. Those are the parts that you're going to be working with. Okay, these three parts. On this aspect, you have your fields. Okay, so whenever you're dealing with a database, so what you call your columns, they refer to them as your fields. Okay, so that's your what columns. Then you have here what they call your what visualizations. Okay, visualization. So how do you choose your various what visuals? Okay, then you have your what filters. Those are the basic things that you are going to be looking at. So if you look at that, then because I'm not going to go through all of them, then in your, just like you have your Excel functions, okay, at the back end of your Power BI, you also have your functions, but we refer to them as what DAX, okay, data analysis or expressions. So some of them are similar to your Excel, okay, except some of these ones here, and maybe some X and the rest, okay, but this is more like more of the advanced aspect of it. So at the end of the day, whenever we plot our visuals or your dashboard, it must be understandable and actionable. Okay. So from the visual, it must be what understandable and what actionable. Okay. So I will open my own Power BI now. Is my Power BI sharing now?
No.
Okay.
It's not sharing. It's
Okay,
on.
it's
Okay,
sharing.
it's on now. Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right. So before we work with a Power BI, so first of all, you must understand the kind of data you are dealing with. Okay. Because remember, one of the key advantage of your Power BI is that you can get data from various sources. Okay. Now, because it's Microsoft, so you also have your Excel, Microsoft. Okay. Microsoft. And that's fine. So that's why you have it first. Okay. Power BI data set, SQL Server. You notice all these are all Microsoft. But we also have other one types. They have sent you the data set, okay? So can you differentiate a file that is a CSV file from an Excel file? Can you differentiate them? An Excel file from a CSV file. Can we differentiate it?
Yes.
So how do you differentiate a CSV file from an Excel file?
Yeah, you can see that. I think you can see that from the extension.
Okay, so assuming you just saw the file on your tape on your desktop, how will you differentiate that this is a CSV file and this is an Excel file without that extension? How will you know?
Oh, I didn't get the question again.
From the loop.
I think for
no, we don't
CSV,
know.
the formulas does not show.
The
But for
icon will reflect the
Exactly. The Excel always comes in green with an X mark on it.
Yes.
You know that's an Excel file.
So look carefully with the files that were sent to you. Identify which file is the Excel file and identify which one is the CSV file.
Excel file is the first one, the very first one.
Which file is that? Which file is that?
Where
What's
are
the
we?
name of
The superstore. The superstore is
okay.
It's Excel.
the Excel? Okay.
And drinks is CSV.
And drinks is what? CSV. Okay, that's
Customer one.
Customer one is Excel.
Okay, customer one is Excel. Okay, good. All right. So we have differentiated them now between a CSV file and Excel file, right?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So let us start. Okay, let us bring a superstore data. So because we know that superstore data is an Excel file, so when I go to get data, I click on Excel. Are you there?
Yes,
so
we
look
are.
at what I've done. Get data, Excel. Then I look for the file. So I have superstore data. Click on open. So do we have this? Do you have the navigator story showing?
Yes, it's showing.
Everybody, do we have it?
Yes.
I have it showing on my screen.
Yes.
All right, then that's fine. Then you select what store. Okay. So if you have different sheets, you select the different sheets that you want. Okay, but in this case, we just only have one sheet. Okay. Then I will click. Now, please take note, you have load, transform, and cancel. So most times, whenever you are working, please always click on transform data, unless you are 100% sure that there's nothing to clean. Okay? You always click transform what data. Click on what transform what data. Click on what transform what data. I don't know if my Power Query screen is showing. Or I have to share it again. All right. So can you see my screen now?
It's loading. It was showing before, but it's loading now.
Yes, it's showing now.
Sorry, mine isn't showing load, transform, or cancel. It's showing load edit.
What's your
showing load, edit, or cancel.
Okay,
so it's
load edit. So it depends on your version. Okay, depends on your version. So
please, I'm having problem with loading. Please, can you help me again?
What's the problem now?
How will I go about loading it?
Loading it. Look at it here now. Get data.
Well, I think you should tick the box. There's a box that you need to tick, and it will enable transfer. Tick that box.
Superstore. Open. Are you there? Then check it here. Superstore. Do you see that? Then click transform data. Or if you have load and edit and load, so it depends on your version.
Please, can you come again? Can you explain it, the steps, please?
Get data. Excel. Select the file, Superstore. Open. Then check the Superstore data.
Yes, that's what I meant to say. Check the superstore data and it will enable transform data.
Yes. So once you check this, then now say transform data. Some people have an edit and load also. Okay, so once you have done that, it will take you to another page known as what? Power Query. And all this you are doing here is also in your Excel. Okay, it's also in your Excel. So if you go to your Excel, you check your data, get data, or Power Query, they are the same thing. Okay, so we have something like this. So do we have a data set like this now?
Yes, we do.
Do we have a data set like this?
Yes, I've got it.
All right. So can we remember our rules? Can we remember them?
Yeah, rule one says.
Yes, every column must have a
Hello.
header.
One rule, no, one rule of elder.
One row of headers.
So does it
Row
satisfy
two,
that?
Row 2 says
no empty
no empty
rows.
rows.
Row 3, no
Row
empty
3,
columns.
no empty columns.
We have empty rows.
Row 4, no
No
totals.
totals. Row 5,
Row 4,
no obstruction around the
no
data.
obstruction around the data. 6, all this must
All
be in
data
a
must
single
be
column.
included.
Then row 7, every category. Am I correct? Oh.
And if it does get mixed up, the names are written on them.
Am I the only one who hearing anything?
No, you're not.
Hello.
Hello, good.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Can you see my screen now?
No. Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah. Okay. So this data set, does it meet those rules?
Hello.
This our data here, does it meet those, does it satisfy those rules?
Hello.
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's fine. So that's fine. So this is the kind of data we are looking for. So anytime we are working with data sets, this is the kind of data we are looking for that will satisfy these rules like this. Okay. So once you are done with that, just click close and what? Apply. Close and apply. Close and apply. Okay. Then it will take us back to our power query.
Hello, we are not seeing the screen again.
Yes, I'm loading to my Power BI now. I'm switching to my Power BI.
Okay. Data analytics.
Okay, can you see? Have you loaded it now?
It's still loading.
It's still loading.
All right.
How do we load that?
For those of you who want to transition
Please,
to
I can't see how you loaded yours. How did you load it, please?
close and apply. Look at the file at the end. You see close and apply.
Look at the top left corner. You see close
Top
and
left.
apply there.
Close and apply there.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I've seen it.
Now, for those of you who are going into core data science, and so you realize that the more tools you start using, you notice that your system now will no longer be efficient for you to work with because it now becomes slower. So that's one thing. For those who want to actually take it serious, you have to now invest in the machine. Okay. Imagine that you have Power BI. Imagine you have SQL, maybe Oracle, or you have SQL Server. You have your Excel loading. You load your Excel. You have your Python. You have your R. By the time you have all these tools loaded, man, your system can crash. Okay. So as time goes on, you now realize that you actually need to start investing in machine. Okay, because imagine now when you want to do an update, you can just click refresh. It can take you almost 10 minutes, or your system will say not responding. Okay, so if you are not doing that, but at least you can increase your RAM of your system. At least that will help you.
like having 8 gig or 16 gig RAM.
Yeah, like 16 gig RAM would be good. 16 gig RAM would be good. Okay, have you loaded it now?
Yes, I
That's
have,
good,
but
right?
my screen is showing the
That's good.
challenges.
Yeah?
Mine is still loading.
Mine is saying there are pending changes. Mine says there are pending changes in the query, and I've been clicking on apply change, but it's not working. But I have an 8 gig RAM.
Just press it. Is there an X button in front there?
Yes, an X button. I should close it.
And just press that. And just cancel that. Just cancel it. Maybe I've opened something before.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Hello?
Yes.
Mine is displaying build feature with your data. Select or drag field from the field pane onto the report canvas.
Don't worry about that. Yours is the updated
Okay.
version. That's why it's showing it on
Okay, thank you.
Don't worry about that. But just check on this field. Do you have your data there? You check on this part. Do you have your data here? Or what you can do, if you click data here, you see your data set here.
I have everything.
So
And that's
I'm
fine.
showing category, city, country, and the rest.
Yeah. Can you see it here?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I can see all
Or you
those
click,
things.
yes, or you click here. Can you see report, data, model? Can you click on data here? You see your full data here. Right?
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Beautiful. So we have all loaded our data set now, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, at this point, this is what they refer to as a clean data set. I can guarantee you that you will almost, will I say almost never, you will get your data ready for analysis in this form. So if your data is like this, you know that to analyze that full data set will not take us more than 10 minutes. To analyze this data set will not take us more than 10 minutes. Okay? But the problem is that to put it in this form ready for analysis, that's where the major problem is. Because once it's there, the questions we want to ask, what kind of questions do you want to ask from this data? What kind of questions do you think you can ask from the data? Yes, what kind of data question do you think you want to ask this data?
Where are our customers from? Since it's a superstore, you want to know where your customers live.
So where are the customers from? So for example, if I take region there, so if I just drag my region there, so what I want to find out is that how many customers from there, right? Or what do you want to find out?
Hello, sorry to cut in. I don't get this part. How did you drag in this dialog box? And from where?
Do you have your data set like this inside here?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's good now. So
Okay.
we are
Hello?
asking a question.
Hello, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, I can only see the option to select and drag fields from the fields plane onto the report canvas. And that's the only option, yes. I don't know how to drag.
Just hold on now. You don't know how to drag. And you remember when I first started by asking, I hope you know how to use a computer. Everybody said yes. So in computer, you know how you drag. You know how you drag.
Excuse me, please. I don't know how to drag. I mean the data, because I can't find the data again. Earlier.
Sorry, please can you mute your mic? Sorry. Okay.
It's not from me. I think it's from someone else.
Okay, please, everybody, can we mute our mics? So let me show you now. So if you have your data set like this, have you closed and applied? So once you close and apply in Power Query, it will load.
Yeah, I did that already.
This point. Yeah, exactly. It will take you to this point. So if you check your field, you will see the different columns.
Field.
Yes. Can you see your field here?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, I can.
Unless maybe it's closed like this.
No, I can see the field. I can see the field.
And then that's all now. So I was not asking, what kind of question do you want to ask from the data?
Okay, I
So
get
somebody was
it.
saying, okay, we want to know where our customers are from.
Then the shipping date too. How long will it take? How long will it take to ship the items down to the regions?
Okay, how long? So you see, these are questions you want to now start asking. So you now start thinking, what kind of which table will answer those questions? Okay, so let's just take, for example, a simple one that everybody can relate to. So we talked about where are our customers from, or which region is the most profitable. Okay, so I can just simply drag my region there. Can you see it? Just drag. I just drag it. Then I'll take my profit and drop it there also. Can you see that?
Hello,
So we
sir.
have, yes.
Hello, sir. Sorry, I was writing. Can you please do the dragging again from the region, please?
Just try yourself and drag first. Let us see. Try and drag first. That's all.
As you click the box.
Just drag. Look at region. I will just drag my region here.
Okay, just right click on region, then drag it into the place. Right click on
yes,
left click rather on region, then drag it to the blank canvas and leave it there.
Okay.
Sorry, how do you convert it to
Sorry, I
graph
actually advise
to
that pay
graphics?
attention to the instructor and do
hold on,
what the instructor is actually doing. Copying him is actually affecting the training. Please.
So just listen there. You see, what I'm just showing you guys that we're actually coming back to all these things. I just want to show you that once your data is clean in that form, you have no any other problem again. It's just drag and drop and everything will start coming out. So look at it, I'll do it one more time. If we pay attention, you will see how easy it is. Watch. I drag region, I drag it to the canvas. I have it this way. I take, for example, profits and drop it here. Okay, so by default, it's already in a table. Can you see this is a table? But if I want to put it in the chart, then I can take a donut chart there. You get that? So I have a simple table there. For example, I pick another one. Let's take for example segment. Let's take segment. So which is our most profitable segment? Okay, I put the the segments there. Then I take my profit and drop it there. Okay, so by default it's in the table. Okay, so what I can do, I can just switch it to any of these charts. So can you see my column charts? I put it there. So can we see how easy it is?
Sorry, sir. Mine is not. I can't see any diagram.
That way I'm saying switch it from table. Look at it, it's on table, right? I switched it to what? A donut chart.
Maybe they are actually finding it difficult to follow the cursor. Pay attention to the cursor. So instead of the voice of the instructor, then you will notice the way he's going about it.
Yes. So I'll do another one again. Just watch. I will do another one again. So for example, let's say we have a category. So I will drag category. So watch my mouse. I'm moving my category here. Are you there? So let's say sales. I will take my sales there and drop sales. Now I've seen the table, okay, and it's calculating it properly for me. So what I can simply do, I will switch it to, let's say, a bar chart again, or I switch it to a column chart. There's no hard and fast rule about the visuals, okay? Just pick it and drag and drop, drag, and that's all I want you to learn here, not even the visual that we're doing here. Just drag and drop, that's all I want you to learn here. Drag and drop, that's all. I will pick another one. I'll pick another one. Let's say, for instance, I want what other things that you want to see? Okay, let's say subcategory. Maybe subcategory will be large. Okay, then I will pick maybe quantity and dump it there. Okay, So if I want to put the values there, I can put a map there. All right, so the point here is that, you see, when we are doing our visuals, when we are dealing with our visuals, okay, that's where the problem is not there, okay? But remember, there's a problem that we have, and we need questions. We need answers to questions that we have raised initially, okay? So it's based on that we will determine what we are dragging. So remember, our sales table is where all the answers are. While the other columns, like the region, is where do we sell most, who are our customers, when are we buying, what are we buying, okay? So that's what we determine, what we drag and drop. So most times in your data sets, there are basically two types of data. You have what they call your quantitative data, and you have what they call your qualitative data, okay? So your qualitative data, how do you determine your qualitative data and quantitative data? So quantitative data simply means it has numbers. So how do you know the ones that have numbers? Look at them. Can you see this summation sign there? Do you see the summation sign?
The profit.
Summation. Can you see that?
Yes.
Summation
Yes.
sign.
Yes.
Summation sign. It means that what? They have what? Numbers.
Numbers.
While the other ones, can you see category, city? Do you see there's no summation sign there?
Mm.
So those ones are like your what? Qualitative what variables. Okay, they are your qualitative what variables. So what we are basically doing, we are taking a qualitative variable like category, and we are putting what? A numerical what data there. So so most of your qualitative variable, you can also call them categories. So qualitative variable, quantitative, qualitative, quantitative. That's just the way I'm picking them. Is that clear? Do we get that?
Yes, sir.
So we see that this is the easiest thing to do, right? Because your data is ready for analysis. So in 10 minutes, we can be done with our report. But that is not where your problem is. So let's go to where the problem is, okay? So guys, can everybody drag and drop now? Can everybody drag and drop now? Everybody, can we drag and drop?
I
Yeah.
do that now.
Yes.
I can do that, but
Yes.
you select. I do select.
Otherwise, if you don't know how to drag and drop, an alternative way you can do it. For example, I want this visual, okay? I will select the visual. So can you see the visual there? But although this one is a little bit more confusing. Okay. So if I want to pick my category, I'll put it on my axis. I'll put that on my axis. Then I can take my profit and put it in values. Then I have it this way. Okay. But that drag and drop is the easiest way.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm very, very grateful for this wonderful lecture. But, sir, how do we identify qualitative and quantitative at the same time that go together? Oh, that okay. I want to pick a category, and what else can I pick to match it together in the pin box?
Do you remember the questions we were asking?
I
showed you a table there. You have your calendar table, you have your customer table, you have your product table, you have your territory table, right? So those are the different questions, and those are your different categories and your qualitative tables, okay? And you are picking it, what you want to answer is your sales. I want to drive it down based on my sales. So my sales, most of my sales are what they call your quantitative data. My region is what? A qualitative data. So I'm taking region by sales, customers by sales, product by sales, date by sales. Do you see it like that? Who was asking the question? Do you see it like that? So I pick the qualitative variable by the quantitative variable.
Yeah.
So it is the question you want answers to that will determine what you are going to pick.
Hello.
So most times when people are doing their data visualization, the better you first of all know your questions, then on paper just sketch how you want the visual to look like. Okay, and that is where your Tableau gives you that room for customization. Okay, from the scratch. But with Power BI, they have already done a lot of visuals for you. So you only just to select which one will suit what I want. Then, although you can still customize, but not as deep as for Tableau. But it's actually very easy here in your Power BI. All right, so let's go to the main theme now. This is the secondary issue. Okay, so let's go to the key theme now. So everybody, do we now know how to drag and drop? So if you have not learned anything today, at least you know how to drag and drop, and visuals and charts will be coming out.
Yes.
Please, I have a question.
Yes, we can do that.
Yes.
We can do that.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you for the lecture. My question is just the way you explain the qualitative and the quantitative. Yes, I get it, but I want to really understand how you got this this dashboard and graphs. Is it by selecting qualitative?
When I drag them, I'll have them in tables like this.
Yes,
Right?
this is the quantitative, right?
I just switch it to a chart. That's all. Did you get that? So,
Yes,
for example, I have this chart here, right? I want to switch it to a donut chart. I come here to a pie chart. Let's say pie chart. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just switch it to a pie chart.
Okay. So it changes the visuals for you immediately.
Yeah. You just touch, and everything.
Okay.
So whenever you see all those visuals and dashboards that you see people do, you're wondering, how did they manage to do all these reports? All right. So can we do this now?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So you see that dragging and dropping is not a problem now when your data is clean. Now, when you are done with your whatever you have done, so if you want to save your work, normally you come to your file, then save as. So whenever you are saving your Power BI file, it saves it as a PBIX file. It saves it as what? A PBIX.
Excuse me, I have a question.
What is your question?
This visualization, am I restricted to just this ones I'm seeing here, or I can actually come up with another thing?
Now, these are the basic ones, okay? I will come later and discuss custom visuals. Did you get that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'll show you custom visuals. So that would have said that these are the basic ones that you have. Okay, but we also have in the marketplace where you can also bring more visuals. I will show you that much later when we are rounding up. I'll show you that. Okay, so whenever you are done with your work, you have to now save it. Save as whatever, let's say first visual, first dashboard, or first report, first visual, and save it. Okay, so that's how to save. All right. So once you are done with that, please close your Power BI. Once you have saved, close your Power BI. Close your Power BI. Close your Power BI. And let's open another Power BI again. Okay, so let me share screen. So open your Power BI again.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where do I close it?
You see X then now, just close them.
Okay.
Have you saved it?
Yeah.
Okay, I've saved now. Can you see your file?
Yeah. I've closed it. Yeah.
You have closed it as well. Then open it again afresh. So we have a fresh screen now.
Okay.
Please, how do you delete?
Delete what? What do you want to delete?
The graph that you
Okay, if you
created.
click on the graph, once you click on the graph, press delete. If you delete. It's just the normal way you have been working with your Excel, your normal Excel features. Just click delete, it will delete. Or right click and say remove. Or you can press Ctrl Z here. I think it will work. All right. We are expected to go on break.
Sorry, I can't find remove or delete.
Just click on the chat. Press delete on your keyboard. Do you know where delete is on your keyboard?
Yes.
Press delete there.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'd like to ask, what's the difference between saving as PBIS and PBIT, please?
So that is just the file extension. So most time when you are working with Power BI, so for example, if I send you a Power BI file,
Okay, sir.
normally it comes as a PBIX.
Okay.
Okay. But the only difference now is that if I am opening it, so for example, let me show you. So this is a template. That's the difference. That PBIT is a template. So most time in most organizations, when you have they will design one particular template so that you can now fill it up on your own. Okay. But whenever you are working with your own file, it's a PBIX file. But when they have a template, then they save it as a PBIT. So most times, PBIX is what we use generally.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for bringing you back to this question. In data modeling
Yes.
or cleaning, can you tell us how can I recall the steps or the steps that one needs to take?
We are going to that.
Okay, thank you.
Favor, when are we going on break now?
Yes, we are going on break now. We are going on a
So-
very short break for
Sorry.
10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. I am still available to answer any questions, but we're on break now.
Please.
But I'm still able to answer any questions.
Yes,
you
please.
can also drop your questions in the chat room, on the chat box.
All right, that's fine. So that's fine. 10 minutes.
So Mr. Francis will address questions there, so it can be faster.
Yeah, but I'm still here. You can always ask your question, but we're on break now.
All right.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please, when you try to open the PBI desktop, Power PBI, it always shows this collaborate and share, then get started. Do we always have to click on the get started or just cancel it?
You just cancel it. You just cancel it.
Oh, okay.
You just cancel it. You don't have much.
Hello.
Yeah.
Please, will the YouTube link be made available to us?
Yes, it is on the. Okay, I dropped the YouTube link on the group chat, so you can check that.
So it will be there permanently, right?
Sorry?
Sorry, she's asking if the YouTube link will be there permanently. Like, would we be able to watch it like after today? And
It will be communicated before the end of the class.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
The link is not on the chat. Hello, Favor.
I just shared it again. It's there now. Please check.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Welcome.
I'm yet to get it.
Yeah, hello.
Okay,
Hello?
thank you.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay, I think you people have a page on YouTube, right?
Yes, we do.
So if I subscribe automatically, if I want to watch, I should just click on it and watch instead of typing the link.
Yes,
I think
we are
that's better
Dataleum
for
on
me to just
YouTube.
subscribe and then get access.
Yeah. Yes.
guys. Can't hear you.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the class. All right. Okay, so we're going to start the class now. But before we start, I'd like to let us know that the videos could be accessed after the class on our YouTube page. So the link will be up on YouTube. Right now it's live on YouTube. So after the class, you can access the video of the class on YouTube. So our YouTube name is Dataleum, just Dataleum. Yeah. Over to you, Mr. Francis. You can start the class now, please. And resume.
Okay, guys, welcome back. So do we have a new Power BI screen showing now?
Yes.
Yes,
All right. Now let's open another file. Let's open, I think customer one. Let's open customer one. The data customer one.
Please, can you send the customer one to the group chat? We don't have it in the group. And I can download it from my email.
It's on the group already. It's on the group.
Customer one.
Yeah, so I just sent it. It's on the group now.
All right. So if you, so first of all, that customer one, is it a CSV file or an Excel file?
Excel.
An Excel file. So because it's an Excel file, I can just come here, click Excel. Okay. Go, so look for the file name, customer one. Okay, customer one, then open. Okay, so the same procedure, I switch, I just check customer. So this is the data I'm looking for, customer data. Then what's next thing to do?
Transform.
Transform data. Transform data, that's good. So it's going to take me to my Power Query screen. My Power Query screen. So do we have this open now? I'm sure yours is loading.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, while yours is loading, look at my own. So tell me, is this data clean?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
How do you know that it's not clean?
We have empty.
There are some empty
empty rows.
Yes.
Empty columns.
Okay.
And then the okay, we have the header at the first column. So
can I please ask something, sir? Mr. Francis.
Yes.
So for me, when I tried to put it, I didn't see transform data, but I saw something else for me to
Yes, so you saw edit and load, right?
Yes, I saw edit and load.
Yeah, that's it's the same thing. Just
Oh,
your
so
version.
which am I going to click? Is it to load it?
No, edit.
Edit and load.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I always advise when you are downloading it, download from Microsoft Store. Because with Microsoft Store, it automatically updates for you. Okay, but if you download from the website itself, that means you have to be updating it manually. All right, so do we all have it open like this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So we remember our rules, right? So let's start with the
Yes.
first rule. What's the first rule?
All columns must have a header.
So this table does the column does it have a header?
Row must have header.
One row header, one row header.
One row of header. This table does it have one row of header?
No.
Yes, yes,
Yes, it does.
yes.
So which one is the header?
Order ID.
Other ID,
ship mode,
customer ID.
customer ID, customer name, segment, and state.
Oh no, there is no header there. It's just a there is no header there. Yeah, the header is just a column 2, column 3, column 4.
So is that a header?
Just saying letter A.
So that shouldn't be the header. I think the row 1 should have been the header.
I think you are correct. Yeah, you are correct.
So have you all identified it? Have you identified the problem now?
Yes.
Yes. No header.
Everybody, have you identified the problem now?
Yes.
Yes.
So the next thing, how do we now correct that problem? So if you're in Excel, what will you have done? If you're in Excel, what will you have done?
Just delete the first row.
Maybe shift it down.
Move everything up.
All right. Or some people would have copied and pasted, okay? Or just what we can do here, so please guys watch carefully. Watch carefully. Okay?
Sorry, no, I did online for something.
Yes? Are you okay now?
Yeah, keep going.
All right. So watch carefully. So in order for me to make this my row 1 a header, can you see what I'm doing? So this is my first row. Row 1 is my first row, right? So what I'm going to do, look at this. Use first row as header. Can you see that?
Yes.
So click on that. Use first row as header.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
Sorry, sir, I missed that.
Hey. Use first row as header. Can you see that there? Click on it.
Very good.
Now, let me just tell you. You know, in your Excel, if you have made a mistake, how do you correct it?
Undo.
Undo. So how do you undo?
There's something that's sign, sha.
Control Z.
Control what?
Z. Control Z.
All right, good. Please take notes. Control Z does not work in Power Query.
Okay.
So rather, what happens is that
okay.
it saves your steps for you here. So if you have made a mistake, what you just do, just cancel. There's nothing like Control Z. Okay, so these are your steps that is applying for you. Now, what it's doing here for you is that, assuming you had this table in Excel, okay, and this is how the table is coming every time. It means that every time that this table comes, you have to clean it. Is that true?
Yes.
So that means you have to be cleaning it manually every time. But with Power Query, once you clean it, remember Power Query, what language does it use?
DAX.
I think it uses the ML.
Power Query, what language does it use?
DAX.
M language. It uses what the M what language?
The M language, yes.
It uses what M language. So there's a program written at the back end, okay? And that is exactly what is happening here. So look at where the program is written, the code. Can you see all these codes?
Yes.
Exactly. So that is the M language. But don't bother yourself with this M language at this level. Don't bother yourself. Okay? So just know that anytime you are doing anything, it's writing a language for you and keeping it for you as steps. So once you have cleaned the data once, it has recorded all the steps. So if the data comes next week, all you are going to do is just click refresh, and it will do all the steps all over again. So that is where Power Query makes life very easy for you as a data analyst.
Where's the refresh button?
See refresh button here. But when we go to Power BI, I will also show you there again.
Hello, Mr. Francis.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry, I had issues with the internet, so I'm just coming back on.
We have not done anything now.
Like when we went on break.
Yes, now just import data, customer one data, that's all.
Okay, customer one. Okay.
Okay. Just
Sorry,
import
please, I
customer.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Francis.
Okay.
A lady is talking, please.
Hello.
So you said
a lady is talking. Yes.
so you said whenever you just put the data, Power BI would clean it like the header part. Now,
Yeah,
I'm asking, does it always have to be this data or any data I put, it has already...
This particular data with this structure. You know, there are some certain reports you create every week or every month. That means you have to go and get data from the field, you put it in a particular folder, then you have to clean, analyze, and make a report. Right? So all you are doing, as long as that data...
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We were talking about identifying the header, the problem there, and after identifying the problem, I don't know. I'm not sure if you have cleansed it or it still remain as it were. Then, secondly, the dialog box I can see from your screen. How do I get it on my screen?
What dialog box?
For writing queries.
What about that one? You don't need it now. We want to see that. Then come to your view. Show formula bar. You go to your view, formula bar. That's where it is. But you don't actually, you may not necessarily need it. Okay, what was I saying before? So what I'm saying that sometimes you may have report that you have to create weekly, okay? And when this data comes, okay, it comes in a particular structure. But every time it comes in this structure, you need to clean it up. So what I'm saying that with Power Query, if you just have a folder, just create a folder, just put the file in that folder, just dump that file in that folder. As long as you have done these steps, all you do, once you import that data, just click what refresh. And it automatically will picks that file, cleans the data, and updates your report. So that's what Power Query does. That's why you see the word power. That word power there, okay? And we're going to see how that works. So back to this, so what we are simply showing you here that in order for you to make your first row as header, what you are simply going to do, can you see it here? Use first row as header, and you have switched it, that's all. So everybody, do we have this now? Your first row, do you have the first row as header?
Yes, yes, I have it. Yeah.
You have first row as header. Okay, what again? What's the problem with this data set again?
The
empty rows and empty columns.
We have some empty rows.
Empty rows and empty columns.
Empty
So
columns,
yeah.
No
okay, so
values.
whenever you see null, what does null mean? When you see null, what does null mean?
No value.
No values.
value. Does null mean error?
Non-values.
No.
Okay.
No.
It doesn't necessarily mean error. It's possible that there are no values to that effect.
Yes, there's no value there. Okay,
Yes.
no value there. All right. So when we say no empty rows, that means
Sorry, Mr. Francis. Can we call it missing values as well too?
exactly they are missing values. No, but
They're
that's
missing
not missing value. No, that's not missing
But they're
value.
not exactly. Yeah.
Look, for example, look at row 6. Look at row 6. Row 1 is an empty row, right? But look at row 6. This null here, what is this null now?
We call that no values.
No value.
No value.
Customer name is missing.
Missing. So those are what
customer name
And the segments, yeah. They're missing
those
both.
are missing data. Those are missing data. But this one is empty. That means beginning to the end. If you check it, empty all through. That's what we're talking about. So empty rows is different from missing data.
Hello,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Which are the cases you call alias? In this case, you mentioned, no, shouldn't you refer to alias?
Are we talking about the same class?
Yes, sir. Because I noticed.
Have I mentioned alias today?
I came across that word. I'm still confused about how it's been applied.
Alias.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're not talking about alias here. Alias simply means it's just like saying, like in the class, okay? In the class, hey,
check my
Can
Mozilla
you
file for this.
mute your mic, please? Who's that? All right. It's just like in a class, okay? We usually have a class rep. Let's assume what's your name?
Placida.
Placida.
Yes.
Okay. So let's assume for this particular group, you are the class rep. So instead of me calling Placida, we call it class rep. Do you understand? So it means I'm using your name, class rep, instead of Placida. The class knows you as class rep. That's what they call an alias. So in the same way, in a data, especially when you're dealing with SQL, so when you're calling the table name, so rather than you calling a particular column by a strange name, just call it a name that will be easy for you to understand. So just like saying customer name, I'll just call it customer. That is alias. Do you get that? So it's most time when you're dealing with SQL, use that alias.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so can we differentiate between empty rows?
Did you say alien or what?
Alias. How do they pronounce it? Elias.
Oh, ALIAS.
Exactly. Alias.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't bother about that. It doesn't apply really here. Okay. Unless maybe you want to change a particular name to something else, that will call it alias. But that's fine. Okay. So can we differentiate between an empty row and a missing data? Can we differentiate that now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, Francis. I'm sorry. I can't do. Can you please?
Okay, please, guys. Can we all mute our mics? Can we all mute our mics? Can we all mute our mics so that we pay attention? Okay. Now look at the first one. Look at first row. Who is the person that said doesn't get? Who is that person?
Yeah, I am. I'm with you.
What is your name?
Christine.
Christine. Okay. Look at row 1. What do you observe in row 1? What can you observe in row 1? What do you observe in row
1? All the data sets is null.
All right, good. Look at row 6. What do you notice in row 6?
There are some columns that have data and some doesn't have, like customer name and segment.
So this is the one that we call missing data. This one is what? Missing. This is missing data. Missing.
Sorry, come again, please.
Missing. There is no data there now. No data.
Yeah.
But this row 1, it means completely there's nothing. There's empty. Can you see that? In this case, it's empty now. If you check it in Excel, you understand it better.
Yes.
You understand it better. All right. So what we are simply saying that the rule is that there should be no empty rows. So how do I remove these empty rows now? That's the question now. So I want to remove empty rows. So watch this. So if I want to remove empty rows, can you see where I have remove rows? Watch this. Can you see remove rows?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Click on that. Remove top rows. Remove top rows. Are you there? Remove top rows. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So once you say remove top rows, so we want to remove the first row, isn't it? So what do we to put there? We put 1. Remove number of rows. How many rows do I want to remove? 1. Okay. So once I'm done with that, click OK. So what did you notice?
It's taking out number the first row.
Taking out the first row is eliminated it.
Okay. But we still have other rows, right, that are empty.
Yes.
All right.
Like row
Now,
15.
the easiest way to do it, what you can do, everybody watch, just watch now, watch. On your filter, can you see your filter?
Where?
Yeah. Yes, we
Can you
see
see
the
your
filter.
filter? Are you there? Look at it. I click on my filter. Can you see null?
Yeah.
Check your null there. That's all. Check your null there.
Have you seen it?
Sorry, Francis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the date. I mean, the filter now. I just saw total, which is a bit different from. It's total also a customer ID. I saw a total on the filter.
We are coming now. We are going rule by rule now.
Okay.
We are going rule by rule.
Sorry, where is the filter? Where is the filter? Where is the filter? Where is the filter?
Look at it. Look at it here. Look at it here. Look at it here. Can't you see? Have you seen it? It's just like your normal Excel now. When you have your table, right? You have a filter. No. Uncheck the no and OK. And we're done. All right. We're done with that, right? Is the table taking shape now?
Yes, it is.
All right. What's the next rule? What's the next rule?
I think no total.
There should be no totals.
No total.
So can we see total at the end?
Yes, there's total there.
If I want to remove it, how do I remove it?
Filter.
Check.
I think you select all after clicking the filter, then select a total.
That's all. Yeah, that's all. Check it. Yeah. Next, what's the next thing?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where is the total there?
If you click on your filter here, can't you see if you go down, if you switch it down, you see your total there now.
Are you worried about catching something? No, don't be silly. What gave you that idea? I'm going
Okay, I've sent total. As we check it, right?
Yes.
Can you please mute your mic?
All right, so what's the next rule?
No empty columns.
No empty columns. Do we have empty columns here?
Yes.
Yes.
Which one is empty column?
From 9
to 12.
9
to 12.
Right, beautiful. So what you can do? So if I want to remove this column, what I can do here, I will just right click right click and say remove. Do you see that?
Okay.
Right click and remove. So to remove that column. But if I have plenty columns, just like I have 9 to 12, what I can do, so if it's just one column, I just right click and remove. But if there are plenty columns, and that you can do, you can say, can you see remove columns here?
Yes,
Can you see
sir.
that?
Yes,
That's
yes.
Yes, we can see.
the same thing. Or choose columns. Can you see choose columns?
Yes.
Of course.
So choose columns. So which columns? I don't want this column 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
I can do that.
Sorry, please. How can I go back? I made a mistake and then I removed other columns.
Look at my steps. Look at my steps. Look at my steps here. So that last step, delete that last step. Delete that last step. Delete the last step.
Please come again with removing the column.
I will do that one more time. So look at, if I want to just remove one column, just select that column, right click and say remove. If I want to remove a group of columns, so look at, if I've made a mistake, I can always say remove columns. I delete that last step and I have it back.
Sorry, there's still 2 other columns
Yeah,
I
I
need to
have
be.
it. Thank you.
You are coming now. You are coming. Now, if I want to remove from 9 to 12, for instance, I can click on my column 9. Have you clicked on your 9 or 10? Depends on the column you have.
Yeah.
Press your shift button. Press your shift button.
Mm-hmm.
Then click on the last one, 12. It will highlight everything for you. Then the same way, right click and watch remove columns. That's all. So there are different ways of doing the same thing. Different ways of doing the same thing. So I can delete it again and do it one more time. Please, this is the last time I'm going to do it. Please watch. I will click on column 9. If it's only one column I want to remove at a time, I just right click on that column and say remove. But if I have a group of columns, what I can simply do, I can click on that column, hold my shift button, click the last column I want to remove there, and it will highlight everything for me. Then I can watch, right click and watch, and it's gone. Alternatively, I can use my choose columns. Choose columns. I don't want column 9, I don't want column 10, I don't want column 11, I don't want column 12. So I will check it and click OK. That's an easier way again to do it. All right. Any other empty columns again?
Sir, column 25.
Yes, 25, 26, 27, 28.
Beautiful. So how do I remove that?
Sir, I'm confused about something.
What is that?
If we check column 26 and 28, the top row, Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I said, if we check the top row in column 26 and 28, we have values each respectively on the top row.
What is value?
So does that mean 2 and 4? Does that mean we have to remove?
Okay, so look at this data set and tell me that 2 and 4, does it make any sense there?
Not really. No, feels like a note to Johnson.
So do you remember one of the rules that there should be no obstructions around the data?
Very well, yes.
So this is an example of that kind of obstruction around the data.
That's those 2 values, I guess.
Yes, because they make no sense there now.
All right, sir.
If you go back to your Excel table and check that one, for does it make somebody have typed something there and left it there. So that's an example of an obstruction around the data. So when you import that data, that whatever thing you type there will also come along with the data, which is not needed. So what are we going to do with it? So what do you do with it?
Remove
You remove it.
So it's against the rule, so we take it off.
Yeah, so how do I remove this now? Column 25, click, hold your shift button down. 28, right click, remove columns. And we are done. Alternatively, if I have checked my whole data set and I realize that, okay, I have certain columns that I do not need here, right? So what I can do again, I can come to my choose columns. Choose columns. So I will remove 9, I will remove 10, I will remove 11, I will remove 12, I will remove 25, I will remove 26, I will remove 27, I will remove 28, and okay. So that's another alternative way to do that. All right, so we have seen how to.
Sorry, please. How do you undo?
I told you they don't undo.
Yes, I was about asking that.
You just delete the last step. That's what I told you now. Delete the last step.
How do
I
you
think I
delete the
mentioned
last
that
step?
before now. Delete this last step. Can you see your last step? Can you see this cancel here? Can you see the X?
Yes.
I can't see it too.
It's on the applied step at the last segment on your screen. The right part.
On the right hand side of the screen.
Yeah, the last segment there. You see applied steps. I think his cursor is on it. Just
Sorry,
check.
I guess people are working on their system at the same time looking at the screen. They need to pay attention to the screen of the instructor. Then they can now do the same thing on their system. It's very simple.
All right. So have you seen where to delete it now? In case you have made a mistake. You know, everything I'm saying, I repeat myself maybe like 5-10 times. But after repeating 10 times, and you are still taking me back, then I won't know what to do again. So I have to wait for you guys. Because if you don't, it will not cover a lot. Let's try and watch. Yes, ma'am.
My own tab is not bringing the space for remove. Like I don't know how you get this your current tab. The remove column, choose column, and all of that.
Anything I do here is recorded here. So, for example, if I delete remove tabs, it won't be there again.
No, I'm not saying on this side, like the header part.
Which header part?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I know what she's talking about. Just go to the home button, click on the home button, and then you will see that.
It's not
click
there.
on the home button beside the file, then you see your choose column.
I did, it's not there.
Okay, choose column. This choose column, you say it's not there in your own.
Yes.
It should be there somewhere. It should be there. Okay, if you don't know choose column, don't you know how to remove columns?
I do.
That's all. That's what's more important.
I'm not saying on this. There was one you did concerning use something as the first header. Like I'm not seeing where to do it on my own.
Or to promote headers. Is it promote header you're talking about?
I think that's what she's saying. That's what she's saying. You know when we mentioned about
I think she's talking about filter from the beginning.
Is it filter or is it filter you're talking about? Or use sexual as header? Which one are you talking about? Who was asking the
Hello,
question?
since there's going to be a repeat video, please go ahead. The class is no longer coordinated. Since there's going to be a rewatch videos, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we have promoted header, we have removed columns, we have removed the rows, right? We have removed the distractions around the data, right? What again? We have removed total, right? We have removed totals, isn't it?
Yes.
The data is taking shape now, right?
Yes, yes.
So what again do we need?
Hello, Mr. Francis. So sorry. Can you hear me, Mr. Francis?
I can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. In one of the rules, which is Rule 5, it says no obstruction around the data. Okay. What about those? What about those column where you have no value and not value? Then if you go down again, you still see other items there. So what would you say? Are they not also obstructing all those items?
For example, which row or column are you talking about?
Okay. Let me just hold on a bit. Go back to where you have a null. Okay, go to line.
Customer name segment.
Maybe row 5.
Under the customer name, you have a null. Okay, when you go to 6, you have customer's name. If you go to 7,
I think we have explained that already, that those are missing data. We have explained that.
Are these not obstruction?
No.
Okay.
We'll show you how to deal with that.
This particular action is deliberate. There are no obstructions.
Yeah, I'll show you how to deal with that. All right, what again do we need to do here? What again do you think we need to do here? Yes, what again do we need to do here?
The date format. I don't know if it's okay. The date format.
So what do we say about the date?
I think we have to put in the proper.
So that they all have to be in the same.
column.
Have to be in the same column.
The single word column, right? It should all be the single word column. All right. Now let's look at it. Before we take the whole date in a single column, look at this one here. Look at this. Can you see 2014, 2015? What do you notice about 2015?
I think it's alphanumeric or something.
We have figures, values there.
Yeah, so what do you think that has happened there?
There is an obstruction there.
Is that an obstruction?
Maybe the data type is different or something. Maybe it's converted to numbers.
Okay. Now, sometimes when you are working, so normally, if you are working, maybe you are in a sales, you are working in a sales department, okay? So you have your sales over a period of time, right? So normally when you have your sales amount, you put maybe the currency, right? You put the currency, okay? Now this, what you are seeing here is like the currency. Have you noticed that?
Exactly.
That this is the sales amount with the currency. But the problem is that it doesn't understand that currency here. So most time when you are working with an ERP, okay, like an SAP, EasyBob or whatever, when you export the data in a CSV file or into Excel, they may not understand that what the characters there. So that's why you can have this type of funny things coming up, okay? So you also need to clean that up. So if you have to clean that in Excel, how we have cleaned it? How we have done it in Excel? If you had to clean it in Excel, how we have done it? Yes, how we have cleaned this up?
I think we'll just convert
Change
the
the
data
data
type.
Yeah, format cells also.
Okay, format cell. So if I want to format cell to what now?
Yeah, currency. Then.
To what?
Then you make dollar.
So date.
Format it to currency.
To currency, but do you see any currency there?
So I think we'll convert to whole numbers.
Format it to test.
Convert it to whole number.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. We are. Yes.
Error.
Wow.
So what else can we do?
Can't you convert it to date?
Convert it to date. Please understand the content of that table.
Can you click on the drop down?
Sorry, what was the concept there?
This or the format cell?
Yeah, this.
Now leave this. Think about in Excel. If you're in Excel, how what? Because remember what I keep saying, it is your understanding of the data that will determine how you are going to clean it. Because we want to make sure that all the data they look in the same structure. Okay, so all these other ones don't have currency, only this one have something there, but the character looks funny there. So what do I need to do there? Yes. So if you're in Excel, what will you do?
Can we put it in binary?
Let's use whole number.
Yeah?
Whole
Yes,
number.
sir.
We have done whole number and I gave us error.
Can we replace the values?
You put it into text.
We put it into text, okay? If you put it into text, so switch it to text.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
So what do you want to do? Yeah, somebody was saying something earlier. Yes, what you have done again?
Convert to a fixed decimal number.
Hello. Can we replace the value? Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Francis.
I guess we lost him. Maybe the internet connectivity. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
we
you
can
now.
hear you.
Okay. Okay, yes, somebody was saying something. That we should what? Replace the value with what?
Yeah, we replace the value with just the figures inside the box
So,
there.
so look at, so replace value with what now?
The
So
figures,
we have,
like
yes.
1740.
Am I replacing the values or am I replacing the character?
I think it's the character.
It's the character, isn't it? So I will delete that value. Replace it with what?
I think it's okay to leave it blank. You just have only the values you want.
Replace with
So
nothing.
replace with what? Replace with what?
Empty space, nothing.
Empty space. Yes.
So click OK. Click OK.
Hello, Mr. Francis.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, when we are trying to play around the column and what was on that row, I mistakenly clicked test and it displayed error. But I want to get I want to go back to initial format,
Now
but
I say,
I couldn't do it.
now I say delete that step. Once you have made mistake, delete that last step. That's all. Delete that last step.
On your tablet screen.
Delete the last step. For example, I see change type. I will delete it now. Then you come back to this one.
I'm not seeing it.
Mr. Francis, for that, I also had that challenge at first. So I went to the View tab, and then from the View tab, I saw Query Settings. So when I clicked on it, that's when this showed up, because I had that challenge for a while also.
Oh, okay. And
Okay,
maybe
so
just
please,
write it on the group. How?
so I'll write it there.
Thank you very much. All right. So what basically we are going to do, we are just going to right click, replace the values, and delete these numbers. So we only want that character, okay? We only want that character. So we are going to replace it with what? An empty space. So that is going to what? Go there, okay? Then we are going to change this data type. Can you see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? But here we have ABC. So now I can change it to what? Whole number. Okay, I think we are done with that. So the next thing we may want to do is that we want to make sure, so if you remember the rule, that want to make your date a single column. Now, why I'm asking all these questions, because if you don't try it yourself and make the mistake, because if I'm doing it, you would think it's as easy as, it just looks easy, right? But when you attempt it on your own, you see that, man, this is not as easy as I thought it was, okay? So when you make your mistake, then you will now learn the correct way to do it, okay? So that way I just keep asking some questions. So I want you to think about how you have done it in Excel first. Because the same thing you are going to do in Excel, basically, okay? All right. Now we want to make...
Sorry, I have a question briefly, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, how did you type that character when we're doing
I did not type it. I did not type it. I only right-click the place, find and replace. Then I deleted the numbers so that only that character will be there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Then remember to switch the data type to whole number. Okay, so another question again. So how do you make this
Please,
whole
sorry for
date?
taking you back. I didn't get that changed type.
You didn't get which one? You didn't get which of them did you get?
I think he's trying to.
Yeah? This one, right? Look at it, right click, replace values, then I will delete it. Then I only have this character there. Click OK. Switch the data type from ABC to whole number. All right, so let's continue.
So I'm very sorry, I didn't get that part. I don't know what's happening. When I right clicked and I went to replace values, there's no value there to even, I don't know.
Jackie, I'm having
If you don't see the value there, then change your data type to ABC to text now.
Okay.
Change your data type to text. Then try it now if it will work. Does it work now?
I think.
All right, let's make progress. Has it worked?
Mine is still empty.
What is still empty? So if you right click, you
Maybe
don't
you
see
need to rewatch this step.
So I changed it to text, then I went to replace value, and that
Again, I feel since we are going to watch a record of this particular one, we can as well just proceed.
Please let's
Yeah. So
proceed
just
with the class.
Right.
So the meeting you rewatch it on YouTube. Then
Yeah,
all
that
the stuff you didn't
will
get,
be fine.
you get.
That will be fine. So the next thing we are going to do, we are trying to make our dates. We want to make our dates in a single column, right? We want to make our dates in a single column. I think that was one of the rules. Okay. So if you're in Excel, how will you have done that? To make all this in a single column, how will you have done it in Excel?
Find a way of joining the columns together, maybe concatenate or something.
You copy and transpose.
Copy and transpose.
Yes.
Copy and transpose.
And
Don't
paste.
forget that
Transpose and paste.
means you are making your rows a column, right?
Mm-hmm.
But don't forget,
vice
these
versa.
numbers have to go along with them. These numbers have to go along.
Okay. I thought we were talking about the headers only.
So how we have done that? So that is where Excel will raise his hand and say, I give up. Okay. Then in Power Query, we now have what they call on pivots. So watch this, on pivots. Okay, on pivot. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to select the whole date. So do you remember how to select the whole date? Shift, hold your shift button to the end. So I've selected the whole date. So click on the first date, hold your shift button, click on the last date. Okay. All right, so once you have done that, just right click, then look at on pivot columns. And we are done. On pivot columns, and we are done. I will do that one more time. So just watch. So I'll pick my first date, hold my shift button, select the last date, and just click. So I've selected from the first date to the last date. What do I do next? I right click and on pivot columns. And we're there. So did we get it?
Awesome.
Yes. So this is not the same thing as transpose. The person who was asking earlier, so for example, can you see attributes? Attribute, what is the new name? Instead of calling it attributes, what is the new name? What should I call it?
Dates.
Date. So date. And these values, what will I call these values?
Amount.
Amount. So I can call it what? Amount. All right. Any other thing again to clean?
Sorry, Francis.
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, the whole process of the on pivot we just did. What exactly did we intend doing? What I saw were figures in the previous columns, and then it's now merged to dates. So what exactly? Where are we coming from? Where are we going to? Sorry.
Look at your table. Look at the table. We want to make these columns. Can you see these date columns?
Yeah.
We want to make it a single column. But we want to make sure that the amount will go along with the corresponding date. So notice now that everything here is for 2008, everything here is 2009, everything here is 2010. So even when I turn it to a single column, they must go together. So this whole column here, we go with this date. This whole values here, we go with this date. This whole values, we go with this date. This whole values, we go with this date.
So, sir, you have the table repeating itself. You know, the date and values 2008 to 2019. You have all of them in repetitive format.
Yes. So you can now notice what the change now that will happen. So right click and on pivot columns. That's all. So rename your dates. So just double click on it. Attributes, change it to dates. And your values, you can change it to amount or sales or anything. So let's say sales amount or sales amount. Okay, and that's it. Any other thing to clean?
Okay, for
Yeah, we still have
something, sir.
missing data.
Yeah, missing
Yes.
data. So which missing data is there?
I just observed it extended our table beyond.
Yeah.
It was normal. It was formerly I think 40. Then extended it further,
Yes,
probably to fill up the spaces for the dates.
yes, for the data, exactly. It is corresponding, yeah. So what again do we need to clean? So the data is taking shape, right? And then that's left to clean. Is there anything left to clean?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, for instance, the state column. I don't know. See the state like delta state and the null under it. They seems not to align. And at least I know for Mozilla text is always to the left hand side, while numbers is to the right. But so are this not text and number combined together?
Is null a text?
No, those ones are the missing data we're talking about.
So the next thing we want to deal with is what? The missing data, right? So those null values. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. So tell me what you observe there. So look at customer ID. Look at your customer ID. What do you notice?
Repetition.
They're all the same.
They are all the same, right? So do you notice that customer CG1250, what is the person's name?
Claire Good.
How did you know that?
Because it's the same name everywhere.
Because it's the same name everywhere here, isn't it? So it means what are we supposed to, what are we expected to do?
It's a drag.
Were to take out all the repetition, make it distinct.
Make it what?
Distinct.
But first of all, we want to fill in these more values. Now that's
It's also drag. Take off the non value, then drag it down.
Change the null to.
Put the
So
name
how will
everywhere.
you drag? How will you drag? This is not Excel now. You cannot drag.
Copy and paste.
Okay.
Paste values again.
Paste values again. So what are you pasting values? Remember, if you paste values, that means anywhere you see null, if you paste that value.
With the name, yes.
Which name? Remember, if I copy this name, if I copy this name and I say replace values now, replace values with null, replace null value with this. That means anywhere I see null value, you replace with this name.
That won't work. Oh.
That won't work now, right?
Yes.
Because we have
It won't work. It won't work.
Exactly. So what are we going to do?
In my own understanding, I think since it's one customer, we right click and then unmark all informations that is not clear gifts.
All right. So do you understand what the problem is now? Do you understand the problem?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So what you are going to do, you have what they call fill down. Fill down. Have you heard of fill down in Excel?
No.
Yeah.
In Excel, you have what they call fill down. So what you are going to simply do, just
Sorry, can I say something, please? I don't know if this works mainly. So if I'm querying my data set and I know that I have like missing value, what I do most of the time, what if I say, okay, for my null value, is that 0 or 1? So in respect to this, if it's since it's name, can I just say, okay, maybe Claire or Sean? You understand what I mean?
yeah, but just watch how this one will work. Watch how this will work. So just right click. Can you see where you have fill? So look at I'm right clicking now. So it means that this null, what should this null be?
Good.
Clear.
This null, what do you expect it to be?
It's clear.
Good as well.
Yeah, customer name.
Good. This null, what do you expect it to be?
Customer name clear.
Sorry.
Sorry.
This null, what do you expect it to be?
Grossinor Hoffman.
So you already have an idea of what it should be, right? So
Yes.
let's do this one more. So watch this. I will right click on this customer name. Right click on customer name. Right click on customer name. Have you done that?
Yes, sir.
So can you see field there? Can you see field there?
Of course.
Have you
Yes,
seen field?
yes, yes.
All right, I want to fill it down. I want to fill it what? Down. So that's all. Click on down. And you're done.
All right.
Ooh. Awesome, awesome.
Oh, wow, wow.
So
That's
scroll down
interesting.
and see. Scroll down and see. All right. Good.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. One lie.
So that is the same thing that will happen with all these other ones too. So I'll pick segments, I'll pick state, I'll pick region, because remember they are the same, it's the same customer, okay? So anywhere that you see null, it means that just repeating them. So that's the same thing I'm going to do. Right click, fill down, and we're done. So you can do it for one column, you can use it for a group of columns. All right, and our data has taken shape. So does data look clean now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, please. Yes, please.
So now do you see how long it took you now to clean it?
Yeah.
This data is not dirty. This data as this is not dirty yet. When you see problems.
Sorry, a quick question.
Yes,
In
sir.
case you have different customer data, so can you do the same thing? Like, for example, you have customer A, customer B, customer C, and their names appear in different column. So can you use the same field down?
So remember, if you had taken all those names, all those different names into a single column, remember what I said, that every unique data or category should be on a single column. So once you have done that, yes, you can do it.
Noted.
Did you get that?
That should be rule 7, I
But
guess.
if they are in separate distance, then it's your, how I keep saying, it is your understanding of the data that will determine how you are going to clean it. But that's why I gave these basic rules. Now, once you follow these rules, cleaning becomes very easy. Then with one or other two things that may make the difference. All right. Any other thing?
Is the repetition not a problem?
Is it a problem? Not necessarily.
Okay.
So we're going to see how
Francis.
it works. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hypothetically, yes, we have filled all the null data. What if in actual reality, a data point is actually missing, like a couple of cells are missing? What
So
do we do?
If it's genuinely missing, so what you do there, one is that you go back to the source and look for whether you can fill it. Then if it is not possible, then most times, if it's not an important column, if it's just one out of many, then you can drop that. That's an alternative. Or alternatively, if they are values, so most times we do what they call imputation. You can now estimate or take the average or the median depending on the values there. Okay. Otherwise, the best is go back to the source and get it from there. All right. So basically, that's how to clean your data. Okay. That's how to clean your data. So if you scroll down, is there any other thing that we need to do? Okay, I think it looks okay. So once you are done with that, then before you go, make sure you check that every column matches the data type. Can you see the data type ABC, ABC, ABC? Just make sure that it follows the data type. Then sales amount 1, 2, 3, correct. ABC, this one is date. So what we can do, we can switch this to date. So switch ABC to date. Okay, switch it to date. Sales amount 1, 2, 3, that's fine. ABC, ABC, ABC means text, right? Yeah, that's it. So that's all.
Yeah, is it possible? Is there any need to put what's it called, value on the sales, like dollars or naira?
No, you don't have to do that here. You do that when you are doing your report properly. All right, close and apply. And you're done. So I'm going to share my Power BI screen now. So is my Power BI screen up now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, is it up now?
Yes.
All right, so you see now you can do your drag and drop and life becomes easy. So I can just drag. So all this drag and drop depends on what kind of questions you want to answer, okay? So which is my most profitable category? Do I have profit here? So I have no profit, maybe just sales. Then I can just pick the sales there and put. So this, for example, I want to prepare a sales report. So remember when we say remove the totals, do you remember that? Because by default, can you see it's already calculating the total for me?
Yes.
You see that? So I don't actually need my totals in my data sets. All right, so we can just drag and drop and we can do our visual. So most time I like looking at it this way. Yes, ask your question.
For some reason, I can't see sales amount in my fields.
It doesn't matter. What can you see? The amount. Do you see amount in your own case?
I can't. Okay, I can see amount on the customers, but not on that date. Does that? I can't see that sales amount, but I can.
It doesn't matter. What do you have there? What
you didn't change your column name.
You didn't change the column name. So what do you have in your own case? If it's just amount or sales, it's the same thing.
Oh.
Or values. I don't know how if you left it as it is. Okay, so remember how we are just dragging and dropping that, and that's basically what we are doing. So here is a sales report. So what I can simply do, put a text box, okay, and just type the sales report for 2020 or whatever year it is, okay? So the same way you do your reporting in Excel or in any of the tools that you use. So I can just do that. So it's the normal Microsoft Word, the way you prepare it in Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, it's just the same thing. So if I want to switch the colors, I can just switch my, so maybe.
Sorry, please, how can I come here? How can I get here from the...
From where? Have you closed and applied in Power Query?
Okay, thank you.
Close and apply, yeah. Okay, so those of you who read fine arts, so data visualization now, this is where you guys now come in, okay? Now you're only using data. So every skill that you have learned in different fields, you can always apply it as a data analyst or a data scientist, okay? All right. So you have your reports. Now, for instance, if I want to put a logo, so your company logo, so if you go to Google or whatever, just save an image, okay? Just save an image there. So for example, if I go to Google, let me look for Dataleum and look for a logo there. Do you have any logo in your system? So if I type Dataleum, switch it to image. Maybe I'll share my screen so that you can see it. So for example, if you go to Google, just type Dataleum. Can you see that? So I want to pick this logo here. Okay, so I just search on Google Dataleum, just right click, save as. But most times it's an image I'm looking for. So maybe I can just open the image, then right click. Can you see save image? So most times the image you are saving. So just say save image as. So let me call it on my desktop. Let me call it Dataleum. Let me just call it logo. Logo. Okay. Then I save my logo. So let me go back to my Power BI. Any logo you have, if you have a company logo there, you can also do that. So what do I do? Can you see where I have my insert? Insert. So just the same way I've insert text box. So I can say insert image. Then it's on my desktop. Then I just come into my logo and pick logo there. And I see my Dataleum there. Okay. So now it's looking like a report. All right. What again do I want to see again? I have seen category. So how many customers do I have? How many customers do I have? So you see the customers are, how many customers do I have here? Yeah.
Okay, you have 14.
14 customers. So if I want to put it in the numbers, what I can do, I will switch it. So can you see that it's in a table automatically? It's in a table format, right? So what I can do, I can switch it to a card. Can you see this card? I'll put it in a card. Okay. It's now giving me my first customer name, but I don't want the customer, I want the name. So what do? I come here to count. So here it's giving me how many customers? 480 names, but we want unique customers. So come to what? Distinct customers. I'll do it one more time. So watch. I drag my customers here. So I've seen the number of customers. So I have 14 customers, but I want the number 14 to show me there, okay? So I switch my visual to a card visual, okay? Switch it to a card visual. Then switch it here. Can we see that on the field? I will switch it here to what? Distinct, count distinct, count distinct, count distinct. So I have 14 customers. So I can put it there. Okay. So in case I want to change count of customers, I'll just delete it here. I'll just double click there and type number of customers. So I have number of customers there. I have 14. Okay. So how many sales transactions have we done? So the same way, if I just drag my sales there, I want to know the number of transactions I have made. So the same way, I'm going to switch it to what? A card. Okay, I'll switch it to a card. Now this is total sales volume I've made. Okay, then that is also all right. I can put it in sales volume. Okay, but I want to see how many transactions I have. Okay, so the same sales value. I'm going to switch it to a card. Then switch it to what? Count. So I will call it here number of transactions. Number of transactions. So do we get that?
Yes, please.
All right.
Please, can you? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, can you go over ways we can come up with total number of customers?
Total number of just drag your customer. So for example, if I want to know how many states I have sold, I drag states here. Okay. I put my state in form of a card. I put my state in form of a card, right? I put my state in form of a card. So let it switch. So I put in form of a card. So I take my states there, dump it there. So Delta states. So to give me the name, so what I'll just do, I'll come here to count. count these things. So 12 states. Okay, 12 states. All right. So in case you want to put the currency there, so if you come to your normal data, so if I click on my sales, right? If I click on sales, can you see currency there? So I can switch it to dollar. And you give me in form of $1. Okay, so in case you want to put the naira, you want to summarize maybe 2 decimal places or no decimal places, then you can just switch it to 0. If you want to 2 decimal places, you can switch it to 2 decimal places. Then you have that. But in case you want naira, the same way you have your Excel, so I just switch that, come down, look for my naira, and dump that there. So it's in naira there, okay? So maybe I'll just put it in 20. So maybe sales volume of 2 million naira. All right, then I have that there. Then I can just put my card there. So actually, you can just go through the video again and just watch through how we are working on this. But it's the same drag and drop, okay? As the spirit leads you, drag and drop. So I'll just try and do a simple visual for you so that maybe segments. So how many segments do we have? So 3 segments. So let's see our sales per segment. And I will drop that. So what I can do, if I want to know how many customers we have in each segment, okay? So what I can do in this second segment, I will switch it to count. Okay, so that's the count there. So now I can put it in this form, okay? So what does that show you? That we have what? More customers in the consumer segment. Okay. What again can you do? If in case you want to check the sales per segment, the same way I can take my segment, dump it there, then take my sales amount and dump it there. Okay, let's see whether it follows. So if I have more customers, so I expect more revenue there, so it follows. Okay, so it follows. All right, so you can also do that. Alternatively, once I have put my states, so for example, I have my states there, I can dump my states there. So by default, because it has recognized Nigerian state, so you see your Nigerian map there. Okay, so what I can do there, I can just take my sales amount, come and put it on the size. So I can see which state I've sold more. So which state have I sold more? Okay, so that's that. So this is just a simple report. Then in case you want to switch it, so I can just keep designing. So it all depends on how you want your visual to look like, okay? So in case I want to switch it, so I can come to my view, I switch my chart here. So you see, I can keep switching them, okay? Some people like dark themes, so you can switch it as a dark theme, okay? Now, in case I still want to make my map a dark theme, what I can simply do, I'll come here to my format, okay? Come to my format. So if you see your map styles, okay? So you can have your road, but I don't want it to show as road, I want it dark. So it can follow, so it can be like this. But to some people, just avoid being dark, then you can change it to a grayscale. So you can just keep editing the way you like your this. So anytime I want to edit any content here, I'll quickly come to my formats here. Okay, come to my format. Again, I can switch it back to whatever color I need. Switch it back. All right. So another thing again you can also do. Let's say, for example,
Excuse me,
maybe
sir.
yes, ma'am.
I'm so sorry to take you back, but I just need to ask a question.
Yes.
How were you able to change the name? So, for instance, in that 480, I can see that the text under it. But for me, when I did exactly what you had, what it gave me was count of
So
amount.
I'll just double click here. I'll just double click here.
Okay.
And just type number
Oh,
of transactions. Then you change here.
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Then maybe I want to switch to, let's say, for example, let's say ship mode. But I want my ship mode to come as a filter. Or let me pick, let's pick, what can we pick? Okay, let's pick regions as a filter. Okay, as a filter. So what I will do, I'm going to switch to a filter. So look at my filter here, or what they call a slicer, sorry, a slicer. I'll put it as a slicer here. So if I put it as a drop down, if I switch here, look, watch this. If I put not central, so what was happening? I have two customers, it's not central, 36 transaction. I have made how much? 183, and this one region, okay? So if I switch another one to northwest, so as I keep switching, you see that I'll have my states, so I can keep drilling down. I keep drilling down, I keep drilling down my reports. So that is what they call what? A slicer, and that's what you have in your Power in your Excel. Okay, so I can put as a drop down too, and I have that. So this is a quick report. See, in 10 minutes, I'm done with all my reports I need to do. Just depends on how well you understand your data and the questions you want to answer. Yes, please.
I'd like to ask another question. For this particular one now, is there any way you can select two counters at the same time? So, e.g., I want to put southwest side by side with southeast.
All right.
Sorry, that mic is not on.
Hello. So, for example, if I want to put my region, right?
Yes, you want to put it side by side with that slicer. So I want to filter, let's say,
so
south.
without the slicer, where it is, say, as long as you can think about it, it's possible. Okay. So you want to see your sales. So let me take a new page. So most I try not to over. So let's say this is my report. Okay. So this is my sales report. So I can just sales report. Okay. Sales report. So in case it's too crowded, I can go to a new sheet there. So for example, you want to see what by what now?
I want to see southwest compared to southeast.
Okay, southwest compared to southeast in terms of
yes.
sales, right? Okay, so
yes, in terms of everything that we did.
So region, so let's see my region. Then region, then sales. Okay, then I can compare that. So I can do there. Let me see. So you want, so that means I can take that to my Then let's say you want to see it by what now? Maybe by category. Okay. Then you want to see just southeast and southwest, right?
Yes, yes.
So let me take my region there. Then let me put a slicer there. Okay. So I want to see what southwest.
Southeast and southwest.
Southeast and southwest together.
Yeah. So it's doing either or by one boat.
Okay, okay. Either or, then I have to switch to multiples. Let me see. You can switch multiple. Okay, so if I come to my format, slicer, let me look for. So normally you're supposed to switch it to multiple. So let me switch it back to my ports. Anyways, let me see. Clear selection. Can't remember where my. Normally you're supposed to pick multiple. Show shadow of
from
none.
selection control.
Selection control. So select. Single select on here. So let's see. No, this is single. Multiple. Okay. On. Yeah. So look at. I think you hold your control. Hold your control key.
Exactly.
Hold your control. So southward, east and southwest, or southward. Okay. Southeast, southwest. Exactly. So that's it. What was asking? Has that answered you?
Please, can you go back to the pricing? How did you get to pick the currency?
So what you just
data.
Now hold on. Just click on this. Click on the column there and switch it. Just click on the currency here. That's all. So if you want
Okay,
to,
click on this,
it
click
in dollar,
on
if you want
the
it on dollar, click on dollar. Otherwise, click the drop down and select whatever currency that you want. So if you
okay,
want
I've
it
seen that. Thank you.
pound,
Thank you.
if you want it
Yeah.
pound, all right, guys. I think we have come to the end of the session. So thank you very much. So
Sorry, just one thing, please.
yes,
The
please.
slicer, is it part of the visualization too?
Yes, it's part of it. Yes, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay, thank you.
yeah, that's fine. All right. So Favor, I think over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis. Thank you, everyone. It has
Thank
really
you,
been an
Mr.
insightful
Francis.
class.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you so
amazing.
much, Mr.
Everyone
Francis.
has
Thank you.
been
Thank
so
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank
So
you,
if you
Mr.
have any
Francis.
questions, thank you too. So if you have any questions, please kindly drop it in the group chat, or you can just drop it in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so thank you all for attending the masterclass. It has been an amazing time, and I'm so positive that we have learned so much. So moving forward, we have a package, or should I say packages, for people who intend to enroll for the next class. Next class comes up on the 14th of November on data analytics and business intelligence. So there you have, at the end of the program, you get a certificate in the course, and also you have access to the facilitators, and you'll be added to a network of data analysts. So we have a discount for the first 10 people that register and make payments before Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. We have a 5,000 Naira discount. The class costs 25,000 Naira. So the first 10 people who register and pay before Tuesday, 9 a.m. will have a 5,000 Naira discount. And also, we also have a challenge for what you have learned in class. So you can tweet, you can post whatever you've learned and tag us. And also, you can create a dashboard on what you have learned today. And at the end of, by Monday morning, the person with the highest like on the dashboard created would be awarded a scholarship to attend the next class, which comes up in November. So please, if you are posting about your experience or you're posting your dashboard, make sure you tag Dataleum Academy. We are Dataleum Academy on all social media platforms so that we can see your work and also make good use and grade it. Yeah, so it's been an awesome time learning with everyone. So if you have any questions, you can just send me a DM. I've been addressing you on the group chat. So all the best. Thank you so much for your time. And we are expecting to see more